Ladies and gentlemen, tourists and architecture buffs, allow me to introduce myself. I am Trump Tower, and I have been holding court at 725 Fifth Avenue since my grand opening in 1983. Standing 58 stories tall in the heart of Midtown Manhattan, I occupy some of the most expensive real estate on the planet, right on the corner of 56th Street. I am a creature of luxury, a symbol of an era, and yes, I am proudly owned by Donald J. Trump. For over 4 decades, I have watched the world walk through my doors. Today, I'm going to give you the ultimate insider tour. We will explore my construction secrets, my cinematic history, the heavy cash flowing through my registry, and the architectural trickery that defines me. Let us begin with my face. If you look up at me from Fifth Avenue, you will notice I do not look like my masonry neighbors. I am wrapped in a skin of dark, reflective glass with a distinct sawtooth zigzag profile. My architect, the legendary Scutt, designed this jagged shape for a very clever reason. It creates 28 distinct corner offices or residential rooms per floor, instead of the usual 4. In Manhattan real estate, more corners mean more panoramic views, and more views mean a premium price tag. When you step inside my public atrium, prepare to be dazzled by pink. That is not just any paint or cheap stone. My interior is lined with breccia pernice, a rare dramatic pink and white marble imported all the way from Italy. But let us talk about the real green inside this pink atrium, the retail revenue. My ground floor is home to one of the most famous fashion footprints in the world, the global flagship store for Gucci. They have been my star retail tenant since 2008, occupying a massive 45,000 square foot space and paying a cool, steady $15 million annually. That breaks down to roughly $384 per square foot each month, making it one of the most valuable, consistent cash streams in the entire Trump portfolio. Now, let us talk about my residential levels, where the math gets genuinely wild. Because I am an aging 1980s icon with extensive white-glove staffing, high-intensity security, and a prime midtown footprint, my carrying costs are astronomical. If you own a condo here, you have to pay monthly common charges, our version of HOA fees, to fund the building's operations. For a typical unit, those common charges alone range from $2,400 to an eye-watering $8,100 every single month. But wait, it gets heavier. Unlike co-op buildings where property taxes are bundled into one neat fee, my condo owners get a separate property tax bill directly from New York City. Those taxes pile on an extra $2,000 to $3,500 a month for a standard layout. Mathematically, that means an owner can easily shell out $5,000 to $8,000 a month just in maintenance and taxes before they have even paid a single cent toward a mortgage. If you actually want to buy your way in, a modest 1,100 square foot unit starts around $1.5 million, while premium high-floor 3-bedroom suites regularly command upwards of $9.7 million. Behind all this glitz lies a triumph of structural engineering. I am made of reinforced concrete, a choice made by structural engineer Charlie Thornton. In the early 1980s, most Manhattan skyscrapers were built using structural steel frames. By choosing concrete, we did not need a separate fireproofing framework, which saved millions of dollars and precious construction time. To make this work, we used a massive, complex concrete truss system at the top of the building to tie the exterior columns to the central core. This keeps me incredibly rigid, meaning my upper-floor residents never feel the building sway, even during fierce Atlantic gales. Tell that to my neighbor on the corner, 432 Park Avenue. Poor guy, he sways like a drunk sailor whenever the winds pick up. Building me was also a masterclass in navigating Manhattan bureaucracy. To reach my current height, my developers had to buy the air rights from neighboring Tiffany & Company. This legal maneuver allowed me to use the empty airspace above their store to build higher than standard zoning laws would normally allow. Over the years, my walls have housed some of the most famous people in modern history. Pop star Michael Jackson lived in a rented unit on my 63rd floor during the 1990s. Athletic superstars like Cristiano Ronaldo, talk show hosts like Johnny Carson, and Hollywood legends like Bruce Willis have all called me home. But the crown jewel sits at the absolute top. Floors 66, 67, and 68 house the legendary three-story triplex penthouse belonging to Donald Trump and his family. This is the very home where he lived before moving into the White House and where he resides when staying in New York City. Step inside using his dedicated private elevator, and you are hit with a wave of literal 24-karat gold and marble. The style was modeled after the Palace of Versailles. The front door is solid gold and diamond. Inside, the ceilings are hand-painted with murals of classical Greek myths, surrounded by 24-karat gold crown moldings, gold-trimmed lamps, and massive crystal chandeliers. While marketing materials long claimed this sky mansion was 33,000 square feet, city property records show the interior living space actually measures just under 11,000 square feet. Still an absolute behemoth for an apartment floating over Fifth Avenue. Of course, I am also a seasoned movie star. If you are a fan of cinema, you have seen me playing a starring role in the 2012 film The Dark Knight Rises, where my exterior served as the corporate headquarters for Wayne Enterprises. Years before that, my atrium was featured in the opening credits of the hit reality television show The Apprentice. Yet for all this exclusivity, I am also a space for the people. Thanks to New York City's urban planning laws, my lower atrium is designated as a privately owned public space, or POPS. This means that anyone, from a weary tourist to a local office worker, can walk right past the security, sit down, and enjoy a moment of peace in one of the world's busiest shopping districts. So the next time you find yourself strolling down Fifth Avenue, stop by and look up. Even take a moment and come inside. Despite what you might think, I am very welcoming and enjoy making your New York City trip a memorable one. Remember me fondly when you leave, because I am a monument to 1980s ambition, a milestone in concrete engineering, a gold-plated powerhouse, and an indelible part of the New York City skyline.